call this number.
Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here.
This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Tonight is Monday, March 17th, 2008.
Welcome one, welcome all to World of the Unexplained. This is Jay Scott.
And this is Chuck Browder here.
Yeah, you sound so enthused, man. And this is Chuck Browder.
Well, I was just expecting the studio door to come flying open and see Trent
T-Dog.
Lackey there, man.
Yeah. He's coming, man. He's coming. He'll be here. Anyway, today is St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. Happy St. Patty's, all you Wohu listeners.
So for those of you not wearing green...
Me.
Time to get pinched. Ow.
I'm the only genuine Irish guy here.
Doesn't matter, man. You got to follow your own rules. So, that's just the way it works, man.
So should we do the show on or just a fake Irish accent?
Yeah, we should do the whole show in a fake Irish accent.
Were you wearing like a green underwear over there or something? I don't see any green on you, man. No, not you.
Oh, D? No, it's just undershirt. Man. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do undergarments count?
Not underwear, no. You have to be able to show them to us, and we don't want to see your underwear. Anyway, so
you don't know how green they are.
Day of the Pods is today. Day of the Pods is today. If you call in later in the show, you'll get free stuff. That's right, free stuff.
You can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah, I know. 877-722-7382. Tonight's guest is Jason Offutt. And we apologize for last week. We had some technical difficulties that did not enable us to take the show on the road. So, anyway, but we're gonna take it on the road tonight. So, what do you guys think about Spitzer and his little fling? Who would you pay $5,300 for one night with, just hypothetically? 877-722-7382.
When I was like 15 years old, I might have considered Julia Roberts after seeing Pretty Woman.
Yeah, okay. She's got kind of a horse.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Actually, she in my older years, yeah, I've definitely come to notice the.
Yeah, I mean, she's still an okay shape.
I think she's had tooth extensions or something.
That
would be something for World
Julia
of the Unexplained.
$5,300. Who would you have, D?
Who would I have?
Who would you have for $5,300 one night?
I don't know, man.
Is anything worth $5,300? That's a question.
I don't think it is.
If the taxpayers are paying for it, is it worth $5,300?
Well, that really right there is the key question.
Yeah, that's true. Have you seen pictures of the chick, right?
Yeah, she doesn't look bad.
No, I mean,
apparently she's an R&B singer too.
Yeah.
I'd probably dig her.
Yeah, I mean, she's actually had close to, I can't remember how many hundreds of thousands of downloads of her song at like 99 cents a pop. She's made a killing off this thing.
Wait, this wasn't the Obama girl, was it?
No, this is the Obama girl. What? Maybe I missed something.
The one in all those I Love You Obama videos?
Or
I'm in love with Obama?
I have no idea.
They've done parodies on it in SNL.
Oh, they have?
Yeah,
I haven't seen
no,
I'm out of the loop, man.
Apparently.
Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah. but I have been keeping up with Spitzer and his prostitute.
Yep.
The Emperor's, what was it, the Emperor's Club, the Emperor's Lounge, something like that, yeah.
And was it Jeanette? No.
No, Trent's here, by the way.
I've been here all along.
Uh-huh.
I'm quietly doing something else.
Uh-huh, yes.
Nobody can see me wink on the...
on the show, yeah.
On the show, but I am.
Very vaudeville of you.
Yeah, I know.
At $5,300, I'm
sure enough, I'm on the trolley.
Okay, let's $5,300. Who would it be, Trent?
What do you mean $5,300 for what?
For a night with whatever girl you can think of. Who would the girl be? This is a hypothetical question.
Hypothetical $5,300?
Yeah, who's worth $5,300? We're going to ask Jason when he gets on here.
You know what I say? I really shouldn't answer that, but I would just...
Oh, go ahead. I'm going to answer it.
You guys better not say not Julie Roberts. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's the one you said.
No,
you can have her, man. She ain't worth $5.
Don't say Angelina Jolie because Billy Bob Thornton's been there.
Brad Pitt's been there.
Her brother.
I'll be honest with you. If you're just talking about general hot women out there,
who's worth $5,300?
I don't know. I mean, I think I just keep the $5,300. But I would say, after saying that I think that Catherine Zeta-Jones is an unbelievably beautiful woman.
Okay.
You know,
Like
so I
Michael
would say,
Douglas is.
I know it's weird, but I mean,
She's kind of older, but you know.
But
she's
a good-looking lady, I think, in my mind. You know,
I think Diane Lane in her prime,
Diane Lane
or Kathy Ireland in her prime.
Kathy Ireland. Are you just saying that because it's St. Patty's Day?
No, I really think she was hot back in the day.
She was a good-looking lady. Oh, you know, another one.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah, totally.
What is up with all these 80s throwbacks you're throwing out
Miss
here?
Eyebrows. But I'm saying currently.
These are all has-beens from like... I said Julia Roberts. She's pretty much a has-been.
Yeah, I was going to say, you
she's
started
relevant,
us down
man.
this road, man.
But, you know.
Brooke Shields.
What? She's hot. Okay, let's bring it. Jason.
I don't know. Chuck, you're not wearing green either.
Bring on the guest.
I need to point that out.
Yeah, we already pinched him.
All right.
Jason, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I don't know about the Brooke Shields. She's literally 1 day older than me, and that makes her old.
Well, anyway.
You left one important name out of that conversation.
Who's that?
B. Arthur.
Oh, you just destroyed our
That's
world.
hilarious. Actually,
You know-
I do know a few guys out there that have a thing for B. Arthur.
my
if you
God.
can,
You
if
know,
you can believe it.
You know, I think about B. Arthur when I try to, avoid even conceptualizing beauty. You know, it's like I just
Exactly.
think of a picture of B. Arthur.
You're thinking about either baseball or B. Arthur. They both do the same
Actually,
thing.
I had this kind of conversation with somebody the other day, and I think probably the hottest woman ever to appear on TV, Barbara Eden.
I don't know who that
I Dream
is.
of Jeannie.
Jeannie, I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
She was pretty, and I think, it might have been her character too, like, because every guy had things like
that
that.
may have been the first naval everyone saw on television.
It was
That probably helps.
the first naval.
Yep, first naval.
Or, I personally was very fond of the green, dancing women from Star Trek.
Well, how about the women Ginger and Marianne from Gilligan's Island?
I
Yeah,
think
totally.
Neither one.
Marianne all the way now, especially that I know she's a party girl. She got busted for smoking pot this last week
Uh-oh.
Oh, really?
at 69 years
I was
old.
going to say.
Way to go, Marianne.
Well, Bob
Marianne
Denver's
smoking the
no
Mary
stranger
Jane.
to it either. So
Do what?
Bob Denver's no stranger.
I'm sure.
Or no, is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah,
Denver.
Bob Denver got busted a few years ago, but of course he's not smoking pot anymore unless there's pot in heaven.
Yeah.
I didn't know Gilligan was dead.
Yeah, Gilligan
You didn't know
died a
that?
year or two ago.
Yeah,
Him
Bob
and
Denver.
John Denver.
Yeah.
How depressing. The
I
show's
know.
taking a turn for the
I
worse.
didn't know
I know,
Gilligan was
seriously.
dead either.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, he totally died.
yeah. Bob Denver, John Denver, Denver Pyle, they're all dead.
Yep. Anybody with the name of Denver, you better watch out. Your number is
So, I mean,
ticking away.
that's my question, though. $5,300 for a night, what Spitzer paid his little mistress with the taxpayer dollars. So my question is, who's worth $5,300 for one night? So all the married men.
Is first worth $5,300.
To say all the married men shut up now. They're like, nobody.
Well, I think part of what he was paying for was the anonymity or supposed anonymity that he did.
Either
didn't
that or Spitzer was seduced by the most seductive thing in the world, and that's just power.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the woman. It's not anything. It's the fact that he could because he could.
Let's get all metaphorical.
No, I mean seriously. I mean he did it because he could.
Yeah.
I'm powerful. I'm a governor. Look at me. That's just my.
Look at me, but don't.
But don't. But secretly, I want people to know because I'm so powerful. I can do
Okay,
this.
I'm
Whatever.
going to get off this topic.
Okay.
now.
Has nothing to do with paranormal stuff.
No, it doesn't, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So,
I'd keep the money personally. That's just.
I know you would.
I mean seriously.
okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
Sigourney Weaver. I got to throw that one out right quick, man.
Sigourney Weaver, back in her day, once again, not now.
Kind of like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and Chuck's busting my balls for this whole 80s stuff. I can't believe
completely.
this. All right. Anyway, so Jason, welcome back to World of the Unexplained, the Day of the Pods Part 2, which is really Part 1 because Part 1 didn't really go off. So we want you to tell the same story you did last time because it was funny and no one got the chance to hear it.
Okay, roll tape.
All right, it's rolling.
Yeah, it's definitely rolling.
Yeah. Well, the time travel story.
Yes.
Yes. Story of a guy named Stephen L. Gibbs, who was originally from Nebraska. He was a farmer who built a time machine. He built a time machine. He didn't really know that much about physics because, well, he never studied that sort of thing. But himself from the future came back to give him the plans for a time machine.
And how did himself from the future know to give him those plans?
It's a great question. That's a great question. I would think that if I was me from the future, I would just come back to mess with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, why don't you date this one?
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Torture yourself. Oh man.
No, he got these plans and put this machine together and swears that he can travel in time, and he's been selling this thing since the 80s.
And you said this was on what TV show or movie that they?
Oh, if you've watched Napoleon Dynamite, the machine that Napoleon shocks the hell out of himself with is Stephen Gibbs' hyperdimensional resonator.
And that's his machine.
And
that's the name of his machine. Yeah.
Right. And how exactly does that machine work? I've seen the movie and we all know how it works, but for the audience.
Okay. There is an electromagnet that's connected to a handle, and you hold it between your legs. You put what looks like a colander on your head, a metal colander, that's hooked up to this machine. You drop some quartz crystals. You should have heard some physicists I was talking to bust up laughing when I told them about the quartz crystals. Into the machine, hit a couple of dials, and you have to pray.
Real hard.
Well, I think if prayer is the integral part of using any machine, you probably shouldn't use it. But according to Gibbs, that this machine is connected to God's energy, and if you don't pray, if you're not doing something for the good, time traveling for good, you just won't go anywhere.
So if you're a Muslim, man, you're just out of the loop.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole Allah thing.
Now, didn't God give him these plans supposedly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. God gave his future self the plans
to give to his past self.
Right. And I haven't personally spoken with Gibbs. I tried to, and he said, well, I'll let you interview me if you buy one of my machines.
How much is the machine?
That's $360.
Wow.
There's a lot I can do with $360 other than time travel.
Yeah, I don't even think that's worth the investment here. We'd love to have him on because that'd be just some fun right there. Oh, man, that'd be
It would almost be fun to, well...
It'd almost be worth the $360, honestly.
Almost.
If we could do it on air and be like, okay, we're praying. I get it all set up with the quartz.
Yeah, but I mean, we'd have to modify it because I don't really want to put the
thing between your legs.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think that's just
especially if there's current running through it. Right, could be a bad thing.
Yeah, you have to announce to the audience if we have dead air, it's not bad radio. It's just the fact that I'm not here anymore.
We've time traveled.
I'm broadcasting from 1358.
Or like 10 minutes in the future. And then there's silence, and all of a sudden, okay,
and we're back.
Trent has materialized.
Nice smoke breaks using that as an excuse.
What happened in that 10 minutes? Well, we found ourselves right back here where we were.
How did that happen?
One of the funnier things also, I couldn't talk to him obviously because I wasn't going to shell out $360. So I got a hold of his biographer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
did he shell out? Did she shell out $360 or?
No, this was when he first wanted publicity, so he was looking for a writer, and something his biographer told me that I thought was pretty telling. He wanted him to write a book about him, so he would have something to sell when he was on radio programs.
Oh my gosh,
that pretty much says it right there.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Oh wow. So what does this guy do for a living?
Well, I know he was a farmer when he was in Nebraska. He's living in Kansas now, a little town called Linden, Kansas, and I really don't know what he's doing.
Probably still a
selling time machines, silly, and mining rights to quartz crystal.
If he sold 4 of those
tomatoes and potatoes and
if he sold 4 of those a week, he'd make a decent living.
That's true. Yeah, if he could do it.
I wonder what the material cost is, the overhead on something like that.
I don't know. He could have just pilled.
Are we actually entertaining the idea that the thing works for just 1 second?
We can.
Yeah, why not?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to suspend belief or disbelief.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the fact that your junk would probably get hit with a pretty large.
So you think you traveled in time one way or the other?
Really, you just blacked out horribly. And had some pretty wild dreams.
I had to pay for my vasectomy. This would have been a lot cheaper at $360.
We should see if he's got any of them listed on eBay. Then maybe that is how he's making his living.
That might be a possibility.
Time machine.
So what has he seen in the future or the past? I mean, has he told you anything about that, or does he?
Well, he doesn't. He really doesn't go. He just goes a couple of years in the past, a couple of years in the future. he really doesn't travel very. I'm holding my fingers up in quotes. Can you see it?
I can.
Yeah.
He really doesn't travel very far, but other people who have used his device have claimed to have gone to different dimensions. One dimension that scares the heck out of me, Al Gore was president.
Ooh.
Oh, is that so?
It's like this George Bush dimension I got trapped in.
Lame George Bush dimension.
Or even scarier, a Barack Obama dimension. Oh, gosh.
And he said one person who tried to go pretty far into the future got as far as 2012 and couldn't go any farther.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, because,
Yeah, because that's it. The Mayan calendar ends. Give me a break. Well, let me see here. What happens if you go? I guess you can run into yourself then, kind of get that Back to the Future vibe going on.
Yeah, you can run into yourself. He doesn't suggest it.
Okay.
He said there could be something cataclysmic having to do with the
space-time
with the positive and negative charges in your body, whatever in the heck that means.
Well, then, he went and saw himself though.
Yeah, but they didn't get very close.
Oh, okay.
You can't get in very close proximity.
Oh, yeah, that whole paradox.
You don't want to shake
thing.
each other's hands, shake your hand at yourself.
Yeah, it's like on the old TV show Time Cop. If you touch yourself in the past, you blow up. Something like that.
So he never felt himself fading away.
No. My question is,
or more recently, evil dragons coming in and destroying the paradox that you created by
doing that,
by meeting yourself.
Well,
and changing your
my question
timeline.
is, if the man's such a devout Christian and believes that prayer is what gets him there, why wouldn't he go back and see the one of the most historic moments of Christianity, Christ getting crucified or Christ working miracles? Why not go back and meet the man himself?
It really, this is according to him, according to his biographer, that you can't, the farther back you go or the farther forward you go, the less chance there is of you coming back. But the one, I told you I was talking to a couple of physics professors, and when I was telling them this story, they asked, how do you get back from the past or from the future?
Yeah.
Don't you have to take the machine with you?
Yeah, we would think so.
According to Gibbs, you don't have to take the machine. You just automatically pop back when your timer goes off.
Oh. Your timer goes
when
off?
the quartz crystals have burned up their energy, of course.
Okay, so what happens? What happens if someone destroys the machine while you're in
well,
in
obviously,
console?
you're trapped, silly.
I guess you're hosed.
Oh, no, I'm stuck in ancient Greece. Oh, man.
Lame.
A lot of people romanticize the old West. They romanticize ancient Greece. They romanticize the Renaissance. You know how bad these people smelled?
Yeah. Do you know there were no working
toilets?
toilets? No working toilets, brother. You were in a jar there. Yeah. No heat. No central air. No car.
3 words: dentistry without anesthetics.
Oh man, think about it.
Surgery without anesthetics.
Yeah, there's no antibiotics around. Man, you get a cold, you might as well
kick the bucket.
Yeah, not only that, man, you can't buy cigarettes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you would smoke tobacco like the Indians did and stick it up your nose.
You had tobacco.
Herpes everywhere.
Herpes everywhere. Not really everywhere, Chad. The Black Plague. But you know what? Some of those things you might be able to bypass because you would know modern health things. And if you're
like
smart,
washing your hands.
Yeah, you would be able to create soap, as we all know from Tyler Durden teaching us. Fat and ashes, and you can make your soap.
No, Tiberius, you should wash your hands after playing in that skin of the dead pig you just slaughtered.
Yes, augury, whatever, blowing up the lungs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know where else going.
Anyway,
with that.
sorry about that.
I'm sorry. It's June. Shouldn't you take a bath now?
Yeah.
It's been since March.
I mean, come on. Yeah, nasty. And even the women, man, they'd been skank.
They had incense.
Dude, they'd have been skank, man.
They would have taken what they call the French shower, which is just basically put on more perfume if they're wealthy.
Armpits, bunghole, crotch, and teeth.
Oh,
does that pretty much cover it?
Oh, that's awful.
Isn't that a song that you sing to kids? It's Head and Shoulders, Knees and Toes, but I bet all those would fit in the song.
Oh, hey, it's Bungles.
Oh, well, let's not even. Oh, my gosh.
I don't even want to go there. But...
All right, guys, tonight we're giving away free stuff with Jason Offutt.
Free stuff.
Day of the pod. You can give us a call right here at 1-877-722-7382. That number again, toll free in the United States and Canada, 1-877-SCARE-U2, or locally 336-996-1596. We got a bag full of goodies, and we want you to call in and get some free junk. So,
some free junk. That's right. That's right.
Bag full of goodies and some free junk.
We got a Glad garbage bag here with your name on it.
That's
so
right.
just give us a call up, and
yeah, that's
we'll
true.
light it on
Free.
fire and run away. Ring the doorbell.
Chuck will. Chuck's a mad.
That's how I roll.
Yeah, that's the way he rolls at Taco Bell, too.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get... Did we tell the Taco Bell story on there before?
Unfortunately.
Okay. It's okay, man. The statute of limitations is passed.
Yeah,
tonight.
you're totally fine.
You're good. Yeah. chucking a Taco Bell food at a window, man. I swear. And watching the guy clean it up, it's just nothing but spite and hate. Anyway,
Chuck was drinking some haterade.
He was a young man back then.
Anyway,
full of rage.
Well, Jason, hang tight with us. We're going to be back here in a little bit with Jason Offutt. More of Woe 2 after this. We're back.
Woe 2. Actually, it's part 1 because last week it didn't work. But I mean, now
it's still the same one though. Day of the Pods.
It's still Day of the Pods.
Free stuff. We're giving out
free junk.
All you got to do is call.
We have Jason
our
Offutt
caller right now. We're with Jason Offutt. Hey, Jason.
Hey.
Okay.
and we've got our first caller right now. Phyllis from Chicago.
Chicago? Oh, yeah. Hi, guys.
Hey, long time to hear from.
Yeah, long time to hear from. You abandoned us.
No.
Scott.
I love you guys. Come on now.
That is really not the way to, introduce a caller.
I am a little disappointed. All this talk about the $5,300 and nobody mentioned my name.
You were the next on our list. We had written down.
You know what? I'm worth at least $10,000.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. See, that's exactly right. We
were too expensive for our pocketbooks here. We only had $5,300 amongst us all.
Yeah, I'm not cheap. I'm not cheap. If I had to pay now, and if because you left the girls out of the equation. I got to go with the guy from 300.
Oh, the leader of the guy with the beard and the mustache that led the troops?
Or really any of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty buff.
Leonidas, he was quite the fellow.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, and I never had to pay, but if I had to, that's,
that would be the one you'd pay.
It's worth my money.
Well, that seems like an excellent choice.
Yes. I'm glad you approve.
Very handsome man.
Trent does. He approves.
Oh, my God, Scott.
All right. We're going to give you a gift, Phyllis.
Awesome.
We'll let Dee get your information here when we get off the air with you. But how about, let's see, do you want to pick one or you want us to just give you something?
How about you surprise me?
Okay, we're going to surprise you then with a Ghost Hunters book by John Kachuba on the trail of mediums, dowsers, spirit seekers, and other investigators of America's paranormal world. How's that?
Oh, how cool is that?
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's the one Dee handed me, so that's... So how have things been?
Busy. Oh, my God, they've been busy. I've got 3 more books in the works.
Wow.
Yeah, and, I get going on one, and then an idea hits me for another one, and so, that and, working for the man, it's tough, but I'm doing it.
I hear, well, what are these new books about?
Well, the one that I've really been hooked on is about the Great Lakes storm of 1913.
Okay.
It's like this humongous storm, the worst thing that ever happened here, and so I just got inspired by that. And then I've got 2 others that really kind of have to do with, like murder mystery, conspiracy theory stuff.
Hey, well, let us know on that one. We'll have you on. It'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know Jason, right?
Oh, sure.
Do you have any questions for Mr. Offutt tonight?
Actually, I have a question for her. I haven't been to Chicago in forever. Is Gino's Pizza still open?
What pizza place?
There was a place called Gino's East.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely still open.
All right, fantastic. Their spinach pizza was beautiful.
Not enough garlic for me, though, dude. I'm Italian. I'll tell you where to get the real pizza.
Where's that?
It's down in Bridgeport.
What's the place called?
Well, there's a place called Connie's. There's another place called Pharaoh's. It's down by the old Comiskey Park.
Okay, I don't know anything about Chicago, but cool.
Excellent. If we're ever
the Windy City
in Chi-Town.
It's a cold city tonight.
I bet it
so.
is. How's the weather out there been?
Oh, well, I can't swear. It's Holy Week, so I told myself I would not swear.
Oh.
But yeah, it's every other day we've been getting snow. We just hit 55 degrees the other day, and then today we got snow. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's practically balmy up there.
Do you have any questions for Jason?
Well, I heard you guys talking about time travel.
Uh-oh.
The fake time travel guy.
It's real, Phyllis. It's real.
We're not officially saying it's fake. We're just grinning a lot.
Yeah. And winking.
Yes.
A lot of winking over there.
I just call it like I see it. But if I could go back in time, I would totally go back to, like, the 1950s.
Okay. When America was America.
When
men
America
were men.
was America, Ike was president,
That's
and
right.
life was good.
That's right.
Yeah.
God bless America.
That's right. And I wasn't even around for it, but, I've seen enough TV shows to know.
Yeah, I hate I missed it. I really do. Men were men then. Women were women.
Well, and I haven't really thought about the 1950s a lot either. Guys knew their lot in life. They were the boss, and they knew that they were going to die at 45 years old from congestive heart failure.
That's right.
From all the red meat that they ate.
Exactly.
That's right. And all the smoking they did.
All the smoking.
Walk a mile for a camel.
Yep. And they slick back their hair.
That's right.
And we don't have the Social Security problems that we have today.
That's true.
Because guys were kicking off early.
That's right. That was a good life, though. It was an honest life.
That's right.
So.
Well, Phyllis, we're going to let you go. Thanks for calling. We're going to open the phone lines back up. Whoa, no, wait. Oh, yeah, I know. We're going to hand you over to the capable hands of Mr. Clements, and he's going to
John Norway taking care of you.
With me.
Okay.
Guys, take care.
Thanks, take care, Phyllis. All right.
It was because you said John Norway. It was because of you guys that I looked my name up.
Oh, and what was it?
I don't really remember, but the country they gave, I'd never even heard of before.
Oh, really?
Trent will know where it's
I would know where it was. Well, do you remember the country, or can
It started with a T, and I have no clue what it was.
Tajikistan?
Maybe.
I'm just guessing. Tuvalu? I'm sorry. I can keep on going with this. Tonga?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Tonga.
Oh, okay. Maybe Tajikistan. Anyway.
Regardless.
You gotta look it up again and see.
Yeah, we'll have to do that on the break.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Something to do. So Jason, tell us about you. You've got a new book that you're working on right now about shadow people. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right. Okay. Well, my interest in shadow people for your listening audience, I'm sure they all are familiar with shadow people by now. It's been kind of a buzz term for more than a decade. But when I was a kid, I saw these things. Human-shaped, blacker than night, two-dimensional shadows walking through my room. And maybe that's why I went to bed until I was about 11.
Okay.
Yeah. I would yell out for Mom and Dad, and of course when they came in,
Nothing was there. Yeah.
There was nothing there. So I've been really fascinated by these things ever since. My blog, From the Shadows, I wrote an account of somebody seeing shadow people, and from that I got hundreds of comments on my blog and personal emails to me with people telling me their stories. And I was absolutely fascinated because some of them were identical to mine. Ones that weren't identical to mine, however, were identical with 40 others that had been emailed to me. And it just really blew my mind because these people weren't just from a certain area. I got these stories from Portugal, England, basically all over Europe, South Africa, Australia. I got them from literally all over the globe, and they were almost the same. And because of this, I decided it would be And a lot of the people had the same comment. Until I read this on your blog, I didn't know other people had seen these. So I figured that I had a book here. I had a book not just of all these fascinating and sometimes terrifying stories, but the fact that people who experience these shadow people don't necessarily know anybody else is seeing them.
Well, let me pause for just a second, Jason. I want to give the numbers again, 877-722-7382 or 1-877-SCARE-YOU2. You guys can call in tonight and get free stuff. We got a whole
junk
box of it.
And bags.
That's right. But anyway, going back to the shadow people story, so you just decided after seeing all of these unique experiences, you're going to put together a book about it.
Well, I wanted to not just to tell all these interesting stories, but to try and find some kind of explanation for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just got finished with writing a chapter yesterday called "Science and Shadow People." I interviewed some physicists, psychologists, and some other professionals to try and scientifically explain what these entities could be. Of course, the psychologist, it's all pretty much in your head. But
no.
But I got some really, really fascinating responses from people, especially a few physicists who are all into the paranormal. They want to be the ones to find, something scientifically to prove these paranormal things exist. So they were completely on board with the project. But given the descriptions of what shadow people do, they can't scientifically explain it. I'm also going into metaphysical explanations and religious.
Yeah, I actually.
And there's the religious one will be really short, 2 words. They're demons.
There we go.
Yeah,
you can quote me on that too.
I'm not going to go into this because it's pretty lengthy, but I myself have had a a series of very harrowing encounters with shadow people, or more importantly, I think specifically a particular shadow person, and that's been my theory of it. And that's kind of where I came up with it. They're
demons. No.
Yeah, they're demons. They wish you ill will. That's, at least from my experience, that's what.
So did you when you were a child, Jason? Did you feel this sense of foreboding when this thing would be around?
No, I'm the type of shadow people is what I've personally labeled benign shadows, because they didn't even act like they knew I was in the room.
Yeah.
It was like they were passing through on their way somewhere else.
Right.
There are a number of different types of shadow people. One is the benign shadows that completely ignore people.
Mm-hmm.
There's angry shadows. That's angry hooded shadows. Actually, is the name of my chapter, because there are a lot of shadows who are cowled like the Grim Reaper, not holding a sigh, of course, but are cowled and seem the person who experiences this feels a feeling of fear, like the entity's feeding off of their fear. There have been a number of occurrences of shadow people that have red glowing eyes.
Now, how far historically do these sightings go back? Yeah.
Well, I've gone. I haven't got all my research on the religious aspect yet, but I've done research on literature, because the psychologists have said it's just an archetype. It's something. These things are something that have been in our popular culture forever. That's why people around the globe are seeing the same thing. So I looked into literature to see how far back these things have gone, and the shadow person doesn't really appear until modern times. Back in Shakespeare's day, there was a lot of paranormal stuff going on. Yeah, there were ghosts, there were witches, but there were no shadow people. Shadow people seem to be more of a 20th century type thing. When I get into the religious aspect, it might go back farther, but right now I haven't dug that up.
Right.
Well, I was just thinking about. Oh, go ahead. I've got something.
Well, I was gonna say
same topic here.
Oh, well, no, I was gonna say if I remember correctly, there were some West African legends that I had heard of a thing called a breath stealer, and they were sometimes described as being like humanoid, dark shaped things that basically didn't have any substance, and the only quality that they had was the ability to, reflect or even absorb light. And they would basically go over children and take their breath away and kill them in the middle
Take
of the night.
my breath away.
Oh my gosh. Is that Berlin?
Did you say they were called breath stealers?
Yeah, I want to say they're called breath stealers, and they weren't all described like that, but sometimes they were, from some of the stories that I'd read, they all did the same thing. They would lean over small children and then basically pull the breath out of the child, and it would die. Now, of course, it could be the malaria or sleeping sickness too, but I mean, the West African myth was it was an entity, it was a type of creature called the breath stealer, and it was sometimes described as what would typically be like a shadow person, but they're definitely malevolent. I
will definitely look into that, and about how far they go back, I don't know why this didn't click in my head. I interviewed Brad Steiger. I'm sure you're familiar with Brad.
No, yeah. Who's that?
He mentioned something that I'm trying to track down right now, is that female shadow people have a place in a number of American Indian cultures as sort of an omen of death, an omen of impending doom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess they do go back quite a ways, but in Western.
Right.
No.
You have to go elsewhere outside of Europe, I think, to get them.
Well, here's the question I was going to ask in regards to that. I haven't read the book. I know it may amaze some of you because I'm such a Dickens fan, but I never read A Christmas Carol. I've never read the story, but you see in every adaptation for film, the third spirit is a hooded, kind of a Grim Reaper figure without the sigh, and that makes me question. Well, in the book, and I'd have to look at the book to actually find out. But was he described like one of these shadow people that are hooded?
It's been a while since I read that, so I can't really tell you.
I've avoided Dickens. I was forced to read Great Expectations in 8th grade, and I just didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh man, you're missing out on such great work. My favorite author, actually. Anyway,
I thought that was me.
You're second. You're second, man.
Thank you.
You can't beat out the old dead white guys, dude. You got to know that. It just don't work.
I'm not dead yet.
That's right. Now then you might go up.
Well, other types of shadow people that have been reported. This one I specifically want to point out because it's just kind of weird. Given paranormal, it should be weird anyway. But a lot of people call it the Hat Man.
Hat Man.
It's a shadow person wearing a fedora.
Interesting.
Huh.
A fedora.
Like a Freddy Krueger kind of thing.
Well, yeah, that same type of hat, and it's been and it's been seen in a couple of different countries, and it's been seen in Europe from reports that I've gotten, and of course America, and there was one from Australia I got.
Well, what are these shadow people? I mean, what do you think they are?
Personal opinion, I think they could be a couple of different things. I'm really leaning towards demonic because most of the reports that I have are not pleasant.
Okay.
A lot of the reports are people just feel, some sort of foreboding, some sort of terror emanating from these things. Other people have been physically and emotionally attacked by these. One woman from Australia even describes being raped by a shadow person.
Wow.
So the way these things behave on the whole is not very pleasant.
Yep.
So that's how I'm leaning. Other people I've talked to have given anything from ghosts to a parallel dimension, people from a parallel dimension, and ETs.
You know what, Scott? I totally forgot this, but didn't David Ferrant, when he had described the Highgate vampire, refer to it at times as being like a black humanoid creature with like red glowing eyes?
Yeah, he did.
In fact, what you were just talking about, Jason, a particular kind of shadow person, but that Highgate vampire was described, according to him, as what would fit that description.
Well, and some of these things have been kind of vampiric in nature. If you're thinking of you being drained of something, not necessarily blood, not blood in any of these cases, but energy.
Like a psychic vampire.
Like a psychic vampire, yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. don't know what to make of them either. I definitely don't think they're benevolent by any means. Maybe it's just because I never met a benevolent one. But maybe they're, I don't know, extra dimensional. I like that concept, that they live in some other.
I like that concept.
Yeah, there's some kind of being from another alternate reality. Maybe one where Gore was president. That's
man.
Sorry, I was just trying to segue back to the earlier.
No, since we're talking about Gore being president,
no.
I've got to ask the question. You teach at a university. You tell us. I mean, what do the kids think about Barack Hussein Obama?
All right, Barack Obama with the kids. You probably already know this. They love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the benefit of a number of things. One, he's good-looking, young, articulate.
Uh-oh. Watch out. You might be a racist. You said articulate. No, anyway, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I'm making fun. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. No, but I mean, he's got the charisma. He's got the charm. He also has really not much of a record to fall back on.
I agree.
Right. I mean, and that I view as a negative thing, because I really don't know how he stands on anything, but a lot of people, especially the younger ones, are going to look at that and go, hey, he didn't support the war.
yeah, well.
Okay, he wasn't there to vote on it.
Yes, he voted. Did he vote president that day?
No, I don't think he was. I don't think he was even in the Senate at that point.
No,
I don't remember.
No, he was in the Illinois State.
I can't hear you. We can't hear you, Chuck. What happened? Oh, there he goes. It's in the cord.
Yeah, I got to shorten my cable.
No, well, Chuck's got a short cable.
Wow.
Well, here it goes. He was in the state Senate at the time, and he probably did vote president.
Yeah. Okay.
So, let's see. Well,
do you think these kids are going to come out and vote though? Do you think they'll rock the vote?
They never do.
I know.
Well, no, exactly.
I know. When I was 18 years old, I went and registered to vote because I wanted to make sure my very first presidential election was Ronald Reagan's second term, and I wanted to make sure I got out there and voted for Ron.
And you did.
And I did.
There you go.
But I've never missed an election since my 18th birthday. But kids, mostly kids don't get out.
Nah. They want to rock, but when they rock, they forget that they're rocking the vote.
Well,
and they just rock, and then they forget all about it.
It's because they have to fire up the bong to rock. They just get a little sleepy and forget about going to vote.
Oh man, that was the day, dude.
I've noticed that every time I voted, and I've been the same. I've been in the same boat with you, Jason. Like I voted ever since I've been 18.
Oh, same here.
And I've never. Very rarely have I seen anybody even remotely close to my age. I mean, a lot of times they're a lot older than I am.
We might not be seeing that this time.
This time you're right, but I mean, just a pattern of just.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a real problem with the political climate of the United States, period. Because given the way our media is, the best and brightest people who should be running for high office aren't. Yeah, they're not going to. They don't want to put up with all of the crap that involves running for president. I mean, looking at the Democrats, looking at Obama and Clinton, sissy fighting with each other. Who wants that?
No. I agree. Well, Jason, we got to take a break. We'll let you go and we'll call you back. But we're gonna take a break and listen in, guys. More with Jason Offutt here on WOTU Day of the Pods. Y'all better call in, man. We got a ton of free stuff. And it's just sitting here. 877-722-7382. 877-SCARE-U2 or locally 336-996-1596. We'll be back in a little bit after this.
And it's World of the Unexplained, Day of the Pods. Tonight we got Jason Offutt. Give us a call. We got lots of free junk just to throw out there, just flinging it to the left, and if time allows, to the right as well. 1-877-722-7382 or 336-996-1596. 1-877-SCARE-U2 or 336-996-1596. It was number so nice I had to say them twice. That's it.
Raise your hands.
You just can't get that short worked out, can you? Raise your hands and watch.
Raise your hands in there, like just don't care. Screwing it up too.
Well, I mean,
throw your hands in the air.
The moment was kind of lost, though, Chuck. Whenever you couldn't just bling it right on the.
Yeah, no bling for Chuck.
Put it right on the mic. Jason, I forgot to ask. You're still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Forgot to ask if you're still there.
So maybe I should breathe more heavily on the phone so you know
No.
What am I wearing? No.
When is, okay, that was a little creepy.
I was thinking more Darth Vader.
Yeah, not what Scott was going on there, but listen, when is this book about shadow people going to be coming out? Because we didn't even say at all when there was a timeline for when the consumer, can purchase the fine work.
Projected in 2009, which, scarily enough, isn't that far away.
No, it didn't. No. Huh. Well,
who's putting this one out, Jason?
Right now, I've actually got a couple of publishers interested in it. I'm just trying to work out some details.
In other words, who's going to pay you the fattest check?
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, that's all right, cool. Though. It's fine. But we look forward to reading it whenever. And it's also some of this material can be found on your blog.
Right. I've written a number of shadow people stories on my blog, From the Shadows. It's from-the-shadows.blogspot.com. And please don't spell out the word hyphen; it won't go there.
It won't.
That's why I've never gotten on Blogspot.
No, what's the difference between a hyphen and a dash?
A hyphen is smaller than a dash. A hyphen connects two words that modify a third word. A dash is something you use in place of a comma if you want a little bit more.
Those are the long ones. Then it's the dash.
Right, the long one's the dash. Yeah, if you're completely sort of changing gears in the middle of the sentence, you use a dash.
I didn't know that. I have an English degree, and I did not know that. I always thought it was the other way around.
The hyphen was
the long one, and the dash was a short. Kind of like a dash of salt. Short. It's a dash.
Right, now the hyphen's a short one, and I use bricks to beat those things into my students' heads.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's a little known grammatical.
Maybe you could beat some Barack Obama out and get some.
Well, and here's the one thing about conservatives as opposed to liberals is. And as a matter of fact, I don't really consider myself a Republican. I'm more of a conservative. There are a whole lot of Republicans out there who aren't. But
John McCain, for example.
for example. Come on, let's spend some more money, guys. Let's leave those borders open.
That's right. Let's make big America. And we don't need small government. Let's let the feds jump in and bail people out of their home crisis that they couldn't afford the mortgage on.
Yeah, that just makes me pull out what little hair I have left. Is the main difference between instructors who are your traditional hippie instructors who didn't go out and actually work but just went back to school, and your conservative instructors is that your liberal instructors will preach liberalism.
Yeah.
They will preach it in class where it has absolutely no place whatsoever. Your conservative instructors, that's why you don't hear of conservative instructors. We don't talk politics. We might talk current events. I do because I teach reporting, so we have to talk about the current news, but I don't politicize it in class. So people generally don't know what side of the fence I'm on when it comes to politics.
Huh.
I would feel like I'm taking unfair advantage of the kids if I were to
tell them the truth,
talk about my political views.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're a captive audience, and they can't really, and also they don't want to, they may be wary of contradicting you if you start preaching your political viewpoints because they want a good grade in class. I mean,
and there is a bill in front of the Missouri General Assembly. A student from Missouri State University. Her instructor told everyone part of their grade would be writing a letter to Congress complaining about some issue. She was conservative, and that issue didn't, she was completely on the opposite side than what her instructor was, and he gave her an F on the assignment because politically she didn't feel right writing this letter. Well, from that stemmed a lawsuit which stemmed a bill in the Missouri General Assembly that instructors couldn't do that anymore.
I mean, well, good, because they shouldn't.
They shouldn't do it. I'm really not into government telling us what we should do. I'm about as I'm pretty old school constitutionalist, small federal government.
But not a Ron Paul supporter.
Strangely enough, there there was a guy with a Ron Paul bumper sticker in the faculty lot in front of my building for the longest time.
Well, was it you?
No, well, no, because I don't put since I don't believe in preaching politics, I don't put any sort of anything on my car, anything in my yard, anything in my office that will show people what where I'm going.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's true. And if so, you should have a whole bunch of. I mean, if you're going to put anything on there, it should be a bunch of enigmatic things that don't really make any sense, like a
giraffe.
No, or like a worldly explain flyer, or a jogger holding a barracuda in his hands, and that's it. You know.
Okay,
well, that's
jogger holding a barracuda.
yeah, a jogger in jogging pants holding.
Joggers who just stands there and jogs in place at a red light. Those guys really annoy me.
Yeah, but he's got to be holding a barracuda, and then people can look at it and go like, "What does that mean?" And then they just leave it at that,
Okay, well, is it a live barracuda or is it a dead barracuda?
Well, obviously it's going to eventually be a dead barracuda, but at the time it should be a live barracuda. Yeah.
Okay, so you're jogging near the ocean.
Yeah, barracuda that you caught or something.
Okay, Trent, I'm being intentionally hard on you because I still can't get past the first segment when you were preaching your love for green Orion slave women from Star Trek.
Come on, they're hot. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows
Chuck's
that.
all about some of that.
Yeah, totally. They're green,
What you bet, yeah.
I mean,
we know what Chuck did in his adolescent days. Yeah, sitting in front of the TV set.
I cannot believe that Chuck just did what he just did. Okay. Whoa. Chuck is completely...
You didn't want to see that hand signal that he made.
Oh, my God.
Your head just slammed into the microphone.
That was just wild. Call in 1-877-722-7382 or
free
locally,
stuff, man.
336-996-1596. Chuck's going crazy.
I won't touch any of it either.
Please don't.
Yeah, Chuck's not going to touch any of it.
You might get shocked. You know what, Jason? I would love to have you on the political show one night. Have you heard the political show that Chuck and I do?
You talked to me about it last week. I've really seriously, I've had a bunch of stuff going on, and I haven't.
That would be a no.
Much. No, so I haven't listened.
But we should throw him up there. An actual college professor that's a conservative. I think that would be interesting.
We are a pretty rare breed.
No, I agree with that. So you don't tell your kids anything about it, though.
Well, no, I sure don't. Well, it's because, like I said before, it's not my place.
What if they ask you?
Which they have, and I ask them I say, if you can figure it out, we'll talk about it, and that's about as far as it usually goes.
Has that challenge ever been accepted?
Yeah, one of my students figured it out. Maybe it was during my my Rush Limbaugh speech.
Oh.
The fact that he basically started the talk radio's popularity.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Which he did, absolutely, and I went on to tell the class a few things about the fact that, but even if you hate him, you got to respect the guy. He didn't go to college, and he came from Cape Girardeau, freaking Missouri. Okay, which is down in South Missouri, basically.
Oh, we've been there.
Yeah, actually.
You've been to Cape Girardeau?
Yeah, Trent and I have.
Yep.
Couple. Actually, I've been there a couple times. Trent went out there once with me.
It's the one part of Missouri that we went to. Yeah, that's as far as we've gotten.
It's not the prettiest part, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's really flat.
It's different.
Yeah, that was my impression.
But no, the people there are really, really good people, though.
Yeah.
Well, and that's pretty indicative of the Midwest, where we're nice.
Yeah.
we're nice people. The college town where I live,
as Kid Rock says. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, as Kid Rock says, those big corn-fed Midwestern hoes. That's right.
Sorry, it being Kid Rock, I wouldn't know.
I'm messing. Go ahead.
Oh, man.
No, the town where I live, it's fantastic. I grew up in a tiny little town, less than 900 people. Everybody gives the farmer's wave, which is the index finger. You're driving, index finger goes up, that's the wave. Everybody in this town does that, whether they know you or not.
Well, D grew up in Oklahoma. Is it true there too, D?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing there.
Show us the farmer's wave there, D.
He's showing us the farmer's wave.
Okay, yeah, and then the
Well, he's
slide
using
knot.
2 fingers though.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
a.
but you have to extend that.
Oh, you extend the
Well,
index.
there are variations. There have.
Yeah, well, sure,
The
obviously.
Oklahoma farmer's wave versus the Missouri
farmer's wave. Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, but my state has more people in it than his state, so we'll take him on anytime.
Well,
Well, is that.
it's just, like I said, I think I've told you this before. I just couldn't live in Missouri or any other Midwestern state just due to the fact that there's so many freaking huge tornadoes out there, man.
Missouri's not so riddled with tornadoes. Oklahoma and Kansas get more of their share.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys probably get more than what we do here in North Carolina.
What? Are you kidding? With global warming, the whole globe's going crazy. Okay? There are tornadoes everywhere. Didn't you see that movie?
Hey, man, I bought my carbon offsets.
I saw that the guy who founded the Weather Channel back in 1982 has suggested suing Al Gore for fraud.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
No kidding. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, because he's completely against the whole global warming thing, and Al Gore has made a steal off of this. He got an Oscar, didn't he?
I don't know. I know he got the Peace Prize,
He didn't,
but he turned that down, didn't he?
But yeah, his name's attached to both of them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, this year it's colder.
Yeah.
Which is great because he's probably wrong. Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, all these planets have experienced global warming in the last few years.
Well,
I'm sure that's because of Bush drilling for oil on all these other planets.
It must be.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Or there are the pollutants of the automobiles, all the SUVs and Range
Rovers. Also, according to Gore, cows are a big problem with pollution, which they are because they have a lot of gas.
Well, they stink.
So maybe we're growing cows on these other planets. I'm not sure.
Probably space cows.
Space cows.
They're space cows and space SUVs.
Madness.
As long as they're wearing little beanies like Astro did on the Jetsons, they're okay.
Well, yeah, okay.
Madness.
I guess you're right. I don't know if they do or not. I've never met a space cow, so they may not.
No, the whole thing,
this
though.
conversation's really gone in a strange direction.
Well, the whole thing about National Geographic in the 40s was talking about a global cooling, and now here we are, 60 some odd years later, we're talking about global warming.
Well, yeah, right. Earth Day started under the theory that we're going under global cooling.
Pigs in space.
I mean, that's how it started, and it eventually changed because that wasn't happening.
Yeah. But the thing about it is about weather. I've noticed is the fact that we've only started recording weather patterns like the last 150 years. Versus the 4.5 billion years the Earth's been around.
And why didn't the Chinese do that a long time ago?
Record weather? They probably did, but
lost in the tsunami or whatever.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, but you have to look. We know that we've had a lot of ice ages that people have lived through, and hey, guess what? It got warmer.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't us spewing stuff in the air, there have been volcanoes in the past that scientists say they cause some real problems with our weather. I'm not saying we're not helping, but it's not this insane Gore scenario.
Yeah.
So 2012, what's going to happen?
God, I'll be 98 years old maybe.
In 2012?
That'll be about it. No, not 2000. 2012 is going to be just like 2000.
Okay.
It's going to be just like June 6th.
The Y212?
Well, no, the June 6th, 2006. It'll be the 666 day.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. It'll be the same thing. People are going to panic and freak out.
I was going to say a new Omen movie's coming out.
They'll go to work the next day.
Yeah.
I worked at a newspaper. I was a newspaper editor during Y2K, and we did a story on a family who were so freaked out that the world was coming to an end that they built a bunker big enough for the family, water, air tanks, and their cow.
Their cow?
They took their cow underground with them.
How's the cow going to defecate?
They'll use it somehow.
It defecates anywhere.
They'll use the methane gas for fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, they might be dead from all the methane. I don't know. We need to do a follow-up.
Oh, so they went in and didn't come out.
They might not have come out.
Nobody ever bothered to let them know, hey,
Hey, man.
didn't happen.
Didn't happen, yeah.
World didn't end. We're all right.
Come on, why would you? It's funny.
Yeah, that's true.
20 years later, they come out.
Things
Hey,
have
where you guys
changed.
been?
Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny if you were friends with those people to like dress up in crazy mutant costumes.
Yeah,
you
come
know,
down there
burn
in their
down their
basement.
house. You know, and all of a sudden they come out and you go like, "You stole our books" or something.
Stole our books.
Yeah. It's gotta,
Tons of sand on the ground, put some cactus up, you know.
right. Shamble around. You know, I think that'd be great. Personally, I mean, if I were their buddies, I would do that. But
Yeah, what a friend with friends like you, man.
I just for like a couple of hours, I would let them think the world suffered a nuclear holocaust. You know.
I want to let everyone know my birthday was yesterday.
Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, yesterday.
That was my birthday. I don't know what that was, actually. Happy birthday.
Today's St. Patrick's Day, but yesterday was my birthday. 32. 32 years old.
Does it work saying happy birthday now that it's no longer your birthday?
No, this was the closest show we had, so I had to talk about it. Because I'm that self-centered.
So what happened on your birthday?
Nothing really.
Really?
Yeah. I only had like a few people call me, and you were one of them.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, because I'm,
Yeah, did Chuck call? No. Chuck didn't call.
He's not wearing green today either.
D brought me a card today.
Yeah.
Did Chuck bring me a card? No. He didn't bring a card. Didn't call.
Not wearing green on St. Patty's Day?
Not wearing green on St. Patty's Day? What kind of commie are you? Are you a liberal, Chuck?
Anyway.
Obama, wait. Oh, man. All right, guys. The number again, 877-722-7382 or locally 336-996-1596. Call us. We got free stuff.
Free things.
I cannot believe this is so shattered in front of us. I really thought we were going to have people lining up tonight, to get free stuff.
From last week, something might have happened.
Yeah, we had those tech difficulties. Sent out another email. It was bad.
It was pretty bad. Actually, there's a few people.
I don't know if you've noticed. You've had me on a couple of times. I am the anti-caller guest.
Are you really? I know we have so much fun. We don't care if anybody calls.
Well, I guess that.
Yeah. Or just some guests you have on. You're like, oh, please, the phone ring, ring, just ring. One time, ring. And then,
cell phone. Hey, Mom, would you call in?
Yeah, exactly. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets bad sometimes. We stay away from those people. They're not invited back. But then again, we have had some good guests that we have invited back and can't get a hold of, or that we can't contact again. Or that we contact again and they don't contact us back. So who knows? Maybe they didn't have a good time.
Hey, I shared emails with one of your former guests a couple days ago.
Who?
Pastor Harry.
Really?
Really?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh, you got to tell us about this.
Oh well, I just we were just talking about shadow people.
Mm-hmm.
And they are
demons.
Demons.
Oh, flat out, yeah, Pastor.
Flat out. That was the only explanation. Which, again, I said when you asked me what my take was, is pretty much that they're demonic in nature. But that's been a number of the people's that I've interviewed. Their take on it, that they're completely demonic, which, given the nature of what demons are supposed to be, that it pretty much fits. It also, a lot of their behavior fits in with my ex-wife, but I really don't want to get into that.
Maybe so.
Wow,
maybe
that was a pretty lame ex-wife joke, wasn't it?
I'm still just stunned on the idea of the Pastor Harry thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we got another caller for you here. Ron Paul Hunter from Raleigh, North Carolina. What's up, Ron?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Yeah, there's some callers. Some days you can't get any callers, and then there's some callers you just can't get rid of.
What's going on, man? How you been?
Oh, not much. Happy St. Patrick's Day. God bless you guys.
Thank you. You the same, man.
Happy birthday, Jay. I'm sorry I missed it, man. I would have called if I'd only known.
It's okay, man. I just give a lot of people a hard time about it that don't know. It's more fun.
We're all putting it on our calendar now.
Exactly. That's the idea, guys. That's the idea.
That's on my list of things to buy, is a giant wall calendar so I can literally put things right in front of me and cross off days and stuff like that, because I don't know, something about the weather, it makes time kind of stream by sometimes,
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Sure enough.
Well, how's the water out there in Raleigh? How's the water situation?
It seems to be getting better. I have this theory that when people the more people pray, the more God will send rain. So
Sure.
everybody's kind of holding their breath and praying, and the reservoirs are slowly filling up. But it's kind of a weird situation because there's no noticeable change in water use, and it's raining, and so the grass is starting to come back a little bit. But yet, every time you look on TV, the reservoir's down, still down like 16 feet or something like that. I'm not sure how many feet it is. It's coming up now, but I don't know. It's like, and then every other week there's another press conference from the government, announcing what they're going to do now. But I've heard off the record sort of that there's other lakes nearby that could be tapped for Raleigh's personal water supply, but the whole southeastern region is in a giant drought, so it's kind of hit or miss. Some people got really decent aquifers, and some people are really hurt. So,
well, slowly but surely it'll come around. But now you're eligible for some free stuff.
Free stuff for Ron.
Yeah, I mean, well, what are my choices? I must have.
Okay. D, what are the choices here?
Maybe I should just leave it up to you guys, and you know my personality as well as anyone, I suppose.
No, we'll let you pick, man. What do we got? We got Cape May Haunts, Ghost of St. Louis.
That's a good one.
Berkshire Ghosts.
The Ghost of St. Louis sounded cool, man.
Ghost of Maine. Well, I can give you want to hear all the titles, or?
Well, I mean, those all sound like great selections, man.
Okay, well, we can just sit and say, actually, I can put you on with D, and D can tell you what all we got if you want to talk to him about it and pick something out.
That sounds cool, man.
Okay, excellent.
Okay. You got any questions for Jason or comments?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of interested in what defines a shadow person. Like, how do you know it's not just somebody that is casting a shadow on the wall, I guess, type thing? I guess it's an interaction, like a corporeal thing. Like
right. It really, if there's nobody else in the room with you,
right,
it's a shadow person.
I
see. The ones that I experienced as a kid and the ones that other people I've interviewed have experienced, there's nobody else there.
Right.
Mine is fairly, I think, fairly concrete. I grew up on a farm. We were way out in the middle of nowhere. There were no major roads. There were no outside lights. So whenever my windows were open, the moon was up, I could have a pretty good glimpse of my room, especially my Farrah Fawcett poster up on the wall. And I could see people milling through my room.
Wow.
And they didn't look three-dimensional either. They looked two-dimensional.
Right.
But they were still there. I'm really convinced they were there.
That's cool sounding, but I mean, I'm sure it was terrifying.
Well, yeah, it was absolutely horrifying. I remember one time specifically when they two of them walked out into the hallway, and I yelled for my dad. Then I realized he was going to walk down that hallway.
Right.
So I was scared to death that they were going to eat him or something.
Right. Now, I'm sure that's terrifying as a child, and also the fear of the unknown. Like, I had a time once when I had the window open when I was very young, and a moth kept banging up against it, but I didn't know that it was a moth until I had gotten my shotgun out and snuck outside and waited outside my window and saw this moth banging up against it. But I was completely paralyzed with fear for like a good 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Because, as a young, 12, 13-year-old child, you were convinced somebody was right outside your window and was tapping on your screen, and there was nothing to do but just sit there and go, oh, my God, what do I do? There's somebody right outside my window.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that I do with any of the paranormal stories that I'm working on is look at what it could really be. What could the natural and not supernatural explanation be? Because usually it's going to be the natural explanation.
Right, and I'm surprised somebody hasn't called in and talked about psychology and various things. There's always skeptics who'd say something like sleep paralysis or, hallucinatory state or a lucid state of dreaming where you were asleep and you didn't realize that you were asleep or something like that. I don't know.
Well, the sleep paralysis is pretty interesting because it describes perfectly a lot of these encounters. So a lot of these encounters, I think, probably are sleep paralysis because they're exactly the same story. Somebody is asleep, and all of a sudden they wake up. There's something, a black shadow person looming over them. They can't move. They feel a pressure on their chest, and they feel panicked. And after about 8 to 10 seconds, it all goes away.
Right.
And talking to psychologists, that sort of thing's going to happen because when you're asleep, some of the chemicals in your brain have you paralyzed because you're kind of still in the sleep stage, but you're also kind of waking up, so you're cognizant of your surroundings. So a lot of these, I'm not saying all these shadow people encounters are actual shadow people encounters. A lot of them are going to be psychological, but there are so many of them that were in broad daylight when somebody was just sitting in their living room.
Right.
Yeah.
I get you. And pretty soon they're kicked to the curb, and they're like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And they don't know. There's no one in the room, type thing.
Right.
Right.
Very
I mean, that's an
interesting.
amazing thing, but I guess there's no film or anything like that, no audio recordings, or there's no real evidence. Just kind of got to keep track of the accounts and
Well,
talk
and
about
the
it
one thing
as a
about
subject.
video and audio recordings, you can't trust any of those. In today's digital age, what can you do with a video and audio recording?
Right, you can fabricate almost anything.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's why any picture of a UFO or Bigfoot you can't believe, or a ghost, because of the fact that you can Photoshop the heck out of stuff and it looks brilliant.
That's true.
Unfortunately, it is. Listen, Ron, we're going to hand you over to Dee so we can open up the phone lines again. But thanks for calling, and enjoy your free whatever it is that you decide to pick, okay?
Yeah,
Hey, thanks.
God bless you, Ron. Take
All right.
care.
God bless you, too. You
Thanks for
take
calling.
care. Bye-bye.
Alrighty.
All right.
Cool deal.
And,
You know, he's a Barack Obama supporter. Did you know that? I'm serious.
yeah.
Well, the one thing about Obama that he's not handling well is his preacher.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine that? You know, I should have asked him about that.
What?
It's totally off topic, but I should ask him about how he feels, how Ron felt about Barack and the whole, preacher incident.
What was the preacher incident?
Oh, see, and he was telling me I'm out of the loop. Wait a minute, that was you, Chuck. Yeah. The Barack Obama's preacher's a racist, man. He was talking about kill Whitey, basically. He didn't say that, but
a Farrakhan.
Yeah, totally, man. He's talking about saying Jesus was a black man, and
Well, the American government created AIDS to kill black people.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, what he said. And 9/11 was a staged by the U.S. government.
Yeah, we all know that the American government did not create AIDS to kill black people. We did it to kill the homosexuals.
Oh my God!
There's a soundbite for you. There's a soundbite for you.
Completely
Sorry.
telecasting that. I should have really expected that comment. Honestly, Scott, I really should have. It should have come on.
Chuck's just shaking his head.
You can try your mic though, Chuck. I mean,
That's not going to work. Short cord.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what other kind of writing projects are you working on there?
Well, I'm working on another book also. I kind of have a title for it, one the publisher recommended, which I don't really like, which is called Never Too Far From Home. I've talked to you guys about it before. The basic premise is the paranormal isn't,
so many miles from your house.
Yeah, it's just a so many mile radius from my house, and I've got that's where the time machine guy fits in. That's why I have his stories, because he's within 120 miles of my house.
I don't like the title. I mean, a better title would probably be Too Close to Home. I don't know.
No, maybe so.
But I really don't even know if I like the whole home title though. I don't know.
My first one was, I'm looking for a Bigfoot encounter close, because my first title was Big Monkey in My Backyard.
That's cool. I do like that.
One, yeah.
I do like that.
I like that title a lot. I haven't found one yet.
Yeah.
Bigfoot
I'm surprised though with all the Bigfoot stories. I mean, they're in every state, man.
They really are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Missouri's got a really famous one, but it's farther than 120 miles from my house. It was called Momo back in the early 70s. In Louisiana, Missouri, which is it's between Hannibal and St. Louis. It's on that end of the state. A number of people reported Bigfoot walking around. It was carrying the corpse of a dog in one case. It walked up to a picnic two teenage girls were having, and they ran into their car and left their purses out on the blanket, and they didn't have keys to start the car. So they sat there as it looked at them through the window and eventually walked off.
That's pretty terrifying. And it was called Momo, or they called it Momo.
Well,
Momo is short for Missouri Monster.
Oh, I see.
If you can't find anything near, you can always just do what we do and just make it up.
I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know that we were writing a book about paranormal things, Scott. And second of all, I wonder where
we'll just make it up.
Really, just making things up.
Yeah. By the way, I am a journalism teacher in college.
Yeah.
Don't do the whole making up thing. It's not like I work for the New York.
I was going to say the New York Times, the greatest newspaper in America ever. Yeah, that one.
Take that, Horace Greeley. I don't know if he was the editor or not, but.
Anyway. It is funny though, because most journalism teachers and journalism students, they will hold that paper up as being the end all be all of good journalism.
Everyone in my department does, but me.
What is your favorite newspaper?
I like the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and the Dallas Morning News.
Okay. All right.
So I just have always respected their reporting. My most local paper, the Kansas City Star, is a complete rag.
No, well, let me ask you a question. You don't talk about this stuff to your classmates, and this stuff that you talk about with us, the politics, and I don't know how much of the ghost stuff do you share with them?
Oh, they all know I'm the ghost guy.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've got students who I don't even know come in, just sit down to tell me a story or talk about ghosts. And I'm actually preparing a proposal for a class that will be fall or spring 2009 called Paranormal Journalism, which is basically a reporting class, but how to report on the paranormal.
That's a very interesting.
Without the normal mainstream press. If they're reporting on a UFO incident, what do they say? Little green men visited, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They make fun of this stuff.
Oh, totally.
So this is basically a class on how to be a good, solid reporter and report on paranormal events.
That's true, because there's a scant few of those out there.
There's scant few good journalists left anymore.
Well, I mean, that might be...
My profession, my former profession as a newspaper journalist, really annoys me.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it while you were doing it though?
Oh, it was great. I loved it. I loved what I was doing. I loved when stories I wrote actually made some kind of a difference in a community.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
One I was just talking about today with my reporting class was one I wrote that got another a second homeless shelter built in the town where I lived.
Oh wow!
So I mean that was really cool. That's when I knew that I was doing something worthwhile. But watching the mainstream press, especially not just print but TV and radio, it's the same stuff
over and over again.
If you go to FoxNews.com, CNN.com, MSNBC.com, they have all the same stories.
Well, they're always, in a way that they're like jackals preying on the carcass there, trying to get as much meat as they can.
That's why you got to go to Newsmax.com.
which I also visit. And, there. One of the things I pointed out to my reporting class today was, look at all these websites, okay? We've got the vice president making a surprise visit to Iraq. That's kind of news, right? Oil.
Surprise.
Fell over $4 a barrel today.
What?
Oil fell $4 a barrel today.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
But they're actual news stories that'll make, some kind of a difference. But the biggest news story was Heather Mills getting $49 million from Paul McCartney in a divorce settlement.
Oh, yeah, gosh. Yeah, don't even get me started on that. Those people really we even need to know about them. We don't even, or Paris Hilton going to jail, or Lindsay Lohan,
$5,300 prostitute. Yes,
53. Well, I mean,
some bearing.
That has some bearing because it's political corruption.
CNN was a big one. This is one big thing that I point out. I skim all the news channels. When Anna Nicole Smith's the custody hearing was going on, they broke into the regular programming for live video from the Anna Nicole Smith. She was dead at this point, but the custody hearing.
I mean, honestly, who cares? I mean, what relevance does that have on my life? I mean, I could just go on and on and on about it. 1-877-722-7382 or 336-996-1596.
We're in the final minutes.
Right, 1-877-SCARE-YOU-TOO. Come on, let's get one more caller in there. I know a couple of you guys called.
I have a question, too.
Sure.
Before we're completely done, I need to ask you guys about the Lizard Man.
A South Carolina Lizard Man?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's in South Carolina.
Close to you guys.
Yeah.
It's closer to you
It's a
guys
state
than
away.
it is to me. There's been a.
That's a whole state away.
There's been new sightings in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
I didn't
In the
know
same
that.
place?
Yes.
No
I
kidding.
didn't know that. We'll have to check that out.
Well, I mean, yeah, that region is a very marshy kind of. I mean,
those
geographically,
people in South Carolina are different from us. They are, man.
geographically speaking, I mean, it is connected to the same like tidal flats, marshlands, sand, hills region that we have in our state. And I guess theoretically, it's not too far away from where we live. I mean, we'd never go there, I don't think, for any particular reason. But I had no idea there were new sightings of the lizard man down there.
North Carolina.
That's very interesting.
North Carolina.
Take a look online, and I'm really sorry about my regional ignorance, because if you would have made the same mistake between Missouri and Kansas, I might have poured gasoline on you and set you on fire.
There you go. North Carolina, we like being on top. It's just one of those things.
Scott actually tried to get that passed for on our state license plates. Yeah, you know,
I failed. But,
it didn't work, and I thought it'd be hilarious.
They want to keep that whole first in flight
no,
thing. Come
flight,
on.
airplanes,
Come on,
blah
that's
blah
a great
blah.
one. You know, Oklahoma. Who there's from Oklahoma?
Diaz.
Yeah, on their license plates. I don't know now, but used to be. It was Oklahoma is okay.
Oklahoma is okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, not so great of a slogan.
That's for the people that living on the border states that didn't know what the two letters were when they sent their mail to Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma. Okay.
Yep.
Come on, guys. Give us
Those
a call.
Texans have to know somewhere to send their mail, especially if they're from Crawford.
Oh, there you go.
Ouch. I'm going to have all the Texas people hating on me now.
Yeah.
No offense to most of you guys. Just one I'm in particular. I'm thinking
or
of,
maybe
but,
a particular family.
Yeah.
But mainly just one.
Just one. Yeah.
Because the older one's all right, but yeah.
So
moving on.
Yeah. So your students know about your involvement in the ghost stuff, and you know that's why I wonder, because if they ever Google you, they'll probably eventually end up here.
Yeah.
Well, right. Yeah. I Google myself often, and it tickles. And,
I wasn't going to make the Star Trek reference.
The Wotu podcast absolutely comes up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Within, I think, the first 20.
Wow, that's good.
Cool. Yeah.
So I wonder how many of your students have actually listened to the Wotu podcast.
Maybe I should make it extra credit.
There you go.
Yeah.
They can send hate mail to worldoftheunexplained@gmail.com.
Right.
Care of
Send
Jay
it on.
Scott. Bring it on. Bring it. Anyway.
But not me. Or me too. That'd be kind of fun.
Well, Chuck, he's the
I don't
more
get hate mail.
libertarian, kind of laid-back stoner guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still got that hippie mustache, beard, and long hair.
That's the reason why I can't. You know why he's not wearing green? Because he looks more Irish than the rest of us. You know, that's basically what my point was.
I think he just forgot it was St. Patty's Day. That's what I think.
Or he doesn't care.
What kind of Irishman are you, man?
I don't really think you're not Irish, are you, Chuck?
Yeah, can I
Scotch Irish? Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
All right, I'm on here for a reason, am I?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you'd ask about my other book, my other project, The Never Too Far From Home. Working title, not probably going to be the title. There was a story that I'm working on right now that actually is really, really close to where I live. It's within the same town, of a college kid. The story disturbed me so much that I couldn't even bring my notes into the house.
Really?
I didn't want them anywhere near my house.
That's
this
weird.
This guy's a college student. He pledged to fraternity, died from alcohol poisoning briefly. Doctors were able to bring him back. But after they brought him back, he started seeing a shadow person out of the corner of his eye. And it kept getting more bold, as in it was not in the corner of his eye anymore. He could see it more and see it more, and eventually he saw it without the hood on, and it had a red scarred face. And he said this, of course, bothered him.
Yeah,
because nobody else could see it, and he kept trying to shrug it off. And one day he was sitting in church. He had at one point felt a calling to go into the clergy. But he was sitting in church, and something spoke in his head, and it said, leave this church now. And he ignored it. And after he ignored it, he felt a pain start growing in his head, and he finally got this lancing pain in his head, a lancing pain in his chest, and he walked outside the church. And once he got outside the church, it was gone.
Huh.
But the voice was still there. The pain was gone, but the voice said, walk home. He walked home. The voice said, get in your car and drive. The next thing this guy remembered was he was sitting in his car at a gas station 3 hours away from home. After that point, the thing started to get more regular in his life. It would talk to him. It would appear more. If he did something he didn't like, it would give him the headache and chest pain. The thing hated his girlfriend. So whenever the young man was talking to his girlfriend or with his girlfriend, the red scarred thing was gone. But once he left his girlfriend, it came back and punished him for being with her. And eventually, the thing told him to kill his girlfriend. So the young man confided in his dad, who I've also talked to, and after he confided in his dad, the red scarred thing kept telling him to stay away from his father, stay away from his father. And before it told him to kill his dad, his dad was deeply religious. They sat down and had a huge prayer session. And the thing's still kind of there. He sees it every once in a while, but it doesn't talk to him, and he doesn't really feel it around him anymore. He's still nervous, which he should be.
Yeah, no joke, right?
Yeah, but it's not really there anymore.
It sounds like some kind of demonic oppression.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I talked with an exorcist from Massachusetts who's like, this thing hasn't let go of the boy yet.
Yeah.
Give him my phone number. Come on, he's got to talk to me. We need to get rid of this thing.
Oh.
So that's one of the most disturbing stories. I mean, especially sitting there and talking to him, and the sincerity in this kid's face, the fear in this kid's face as he told me his story was pretty powerful.
You know what?
No more binge drinking for Bobby. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't think I would keep those notes in my house either. That's something else. Wow.
Yeah, no, that just it really bugged me. I couldn't do it.
No,
that is creepy, dude.
That is quite a tale to wrap up this Day of the Pods and our interview with you.
I always get the best stories out of you, Jason.
Yeah,
What's
seriously.
Up? It's good stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff. I'm a reporter. I'm an old reporter. I guess. Hey, I'm going to be 43 this year. Does that rank me as old?
Yeah. Nah. You know, 40 is the new. 50's the new 40, so
I don't know.
40's the new 30. Yeah, there you go.
Just take advice from my man Pablo Picasso. I'm not going to go into
Men
it.
choose the age in which they live. Is it? Yeah,
that's it.
There you go.
You know.
Yeah. How about some words of advice from my man Tony Randall? When I'm 77, I'll have a 28-year-old wife.
There you go.
Tony Randall, he was quite a fella.
You might not want to say that too loud in case the current wife hears.
She's upstairs. She's probably asleep by now.
Yeah. But I think it's almost time to wrap this up, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, Jason, thanks so much for being on the show again. We'll have to talk soon.
How do we get to your blog spot again?
Yeah.
Excuse me? My blog is from-the-shadows.blogspot.com.
Excellent.
And while you're also there, you can pick up a From the Shadows T-shirt or my book, Haunted Missouri. There's links to both of those.
It's a fantastic read, guys, so pick it up.
It is a good book. Great book. Thanks so much. It's always wonderful, Jason. We'll be talking again soon.
Great. Thanks a lot, gentlemen.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
And that was Jason Offutt, Haunted Missouri, and Shadow People, and all kinds of crazy, creepy, eerie stories.
Seriously, that was. Listen, I'm gonna. Can I dedicate a show?
Can you dedicate a show?
Yeah, I know this is kind of weird or whatever, but
it's a little gay. But go ahead.
Fine then.
No, go ahead. Dedicate the show.
My dog of 17 years, Vader, passed away this morning.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear.
I had to bury him. He died in his sleep.
He was a good dog.
He wasn't. We had some good times together, but I was going to tell you that early on in the show, but I have to save it for the end. I don't want to leave it on a downer, but you know.
No, that was a fine thing. I couldn't think of a better show to dedicate.
Yeah, he was a good boy. All right, next week we have
Tom Van Flandern.
Oh my gosh, what do we got? He has so much stuff to talk about.
Craziness.
Where are we going to get? I mean, black
Faces
holes
on Mars.
Yeah, black holes, astronomical anomalies. Awesome.
We got a minute left.
Okay.
Less than a minute, actually.
But
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed the Day of the Pods, and we'll probably have another one day if, we still got stuff to give out.
Oh, we'll keep on running them. And thanks again for our callers, the people listening tonight, and the people podcasting, although you should have called. But anyway, until next time.
Jay Scott, your only JD DJ on the OmniSound Radio 1 network, saying au revoir.
This is Trinidad. We're coming to you from Kernersville, North Carolina, a small town where, as always, we talk about very big things. Chuck, borrow a mic.
Yeah!